Hi there, it's Martin here from Refurbishment Mastery with a quick video to explain the concept of value engineering. Now, you may not have heard of the phrase value engineering, so this video is going to explain what it is in more detail. It's a way that developers and large organisations look to get more for their money in all sorts of fields of industry. So it doesn't just relate to construction, it can relate to all sorts of other things. But looking at it within construction, it's a way where we try and get either more for our money or we get better value for our money. So we value engineer to get more for our money or better value. And typically, this is a way of working with your builder, the selected builder, the preferred builder that you want to appoint, to see if there is a cheaper way of delivering the same project. Now, clearly it's cheaper if we use cheaper products, but let's say that's not appropriate. There's no point in reducing the cost of our build if we significantly reduce the value of our build. And you'll have seen other videos where I talk about spending more to add value. But this is actually a process where we talk about elements of the project, maybe every element of the project, or maybe significant elements of the project, and we work on a collaborative basis with our builder to see if there is any way that we can build it a little bit cheaper. And it's all about having conversations and asking questions and probing and digging to the builder. And sometimes there's obvious answers, and sometimes those answers are buried a little bit deeper. So sometimes you might have this conversation with a builder and it's like, you know, the plumbing price is too high. What can we do to keep the plumbing price down? And the builder might say, well, I tell you what, it's these couple of things here that are making this really expensive. If you built these en suites in a different way or in a different location, I could take £2,000 off the price. Now that's value engineering. We've still got the same en suites, we've perhaps just got them in a different location in the bedroom. And you need to be aware as to whether that is a good thing or a bad thing. Maybe they were put in that place because that's where they felt like they should go. But now you're in a position where you can make a decision. Is it right to move these en suites to make a saving, or do we leave them where they are? And so typically when you have a meeting about value engineering, what you'll get is some ideas from the builder, and you can steer this to a certain extent yourself, about things that you want to have a look at. And you don't have to take all of them. Indeed, you don't have to take any of them. But they're all opportunities where you might be able to make some savings. Typically, they come from building things in a slightly different way. Maybe the builder knows some better products, some cheaper products. It's not uncommon for architects to specify quite expensive products when there's cheaper products on the market. There may be ways of reducing the cost by maybe you can buy some of those materials. I've had builders say, actually, my price is quite high here because I know I've got to buy the materials. They're going to need a deposit, and you're not going to be able to pay me back for 6 weeks later on. That's going to disrupt my cash flow. So I've had to factor that in. By having that discussion, you might say, well, actually, I'll go and buy that product then instead, and then that will help reduce the price. I've had other projects where we've been able to reduce the price by changing the payment terms. If you can pay a builder more frequently, there is a chance that they can reduce the duration of the project and sometimes reduce the cost. But there's also the ways of reducing the cost as a result of building in it a slightly different way. So that is called value engineering. Typically, it's the last meeting you'd have with your builder before you're actually saying, right, yeah, we're good to go. we have agreed that this is the contract sum. We've agreed this is what we're getting for that money. And then the next stage would be very much towards appointing the builder and putting together some contract documents or some terms and conditions, whatever you're doing. So don't be afraid to have a value engineering meeting if you need it. You may need it if it's coming over budget. You may need it if you're feeling the end valuation isn't as high as you were hoping for in the first place. So don't be afraid to do it. I would typically advise that you don't have that meeting on site. I would typically advise that you have it in a neutral place, probably with a cup of tea, and sit and get the drawings out and just talk through the expensive elements, or talk through the whole job if appropriate, or see where the builder takes it and see where you can get from it. In most cases, you will find some savings without really compromising your finished product. But importantly, you've got a much better relationship with your builder than just going to him and saying, you're over budget, you need to take 10% off, otherwise I can't give you the job. That is a very negative start to your project. The builder will feel as though you've nicked 10% off him from day one. Whereas if you've collaboratively worked to find ways of building it a little bit cheaper, he will feel as though he's part of the scheme and won't feel that he is already starting the job at a price that's too low to deliver that product at. So hopefully you've learned something new from this. Maybe you didn't know what value engineering was. As I say, it is something used extensively in bigger business, but we can use it in our refurbishment projects as well. My name is Martin Rapley. Do please subscribe to my videos, and I look forward to catching up with you on another one very soon.